Good afternoon and welcome to Math. Today we will be looking at patterning. Yay! Today we're looking at number patterns. So this is a number pattern chart. Sometimes it will be vertical and sometimes it will be horizontal like this. But either way, you always have an input, the number going in, and you always have an output, the number you would get after you follow the pattern rule. Sometimes it will tell you what the pattern rule is, and sometimes you have to figure it out by yourself. So the reason why there's often two sets in the same chart that show you both the in number and the out number is because you use one to determine what the pattern rule is, and you'd use the second set to make sure your pattern rule is correct. Because it has to work for the entire chart, not just the first set of boxes. So in this case, there are two possible pattern rules. If you look at the first two boxes, the way we figure it out is we find the difference between the first box and the second box. There are three different ways we can do this. The first way is to take the lower number, or take the number in the input, I should say, and count up or count back to the next number in the output. So in this case, we're going to count up from 6 until we get to 24, and then we know we found our pattern rule. So we can go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So that's 18. So if I add 18, that could be one of our possible rules. You can do that a little bit quicker by making it into a subtraction question. I know since my input is smaller than my output, I have to add more numbers to get from the smaller number in the input to the bigger number. So I already know my rule is probably going to be adding. So I could say add 18 is my pattern rule. We can check that with subtraction. So I'll take the bigger number, subtract the smaller number, and see what I get. So if I take 24 and I subtract 6, so I can't take 6 away from 4, so I'll have to borrow. So 14 take away 6 is 8, and 1 take away nothing is 1. So there's my 18 that I counted up to. So that makes sense as a pattern rule. But there is a third possibility of how to figure this out. I know my 6 times tables very well, and I know that 6 times 4 is 24. So it could be, I'm just going to do that here to make sure, 24, so I know that 6 times 4 is 24. So that could also be a pattern rule. It could be multiply by 4. So now I have to check to see which of my two possible rules is correct for this box down at the end. So if I do the same subtraction I did, it should work out to be 18 if my pattern rule is correct. Let's see. So I've got the output is 72, and I'm using it first because it's the bigger number, and I'm subtracting the input. So I can't take 4 away from 2. I'm going to have to borrow. So 12 take away 4 is 8. 6 take away 5 is 1. And there it is. So that pattern rule does work. But I can't rule out the other one until I try it. So if I multiply 54 by 4, will I get 72? Let's see. So 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 1 is 21. So that was not correct. 72 is definitely not the same as 216. So I know that this pattern rule, the one where I'm adding 18, is the correct pattern rule. This one doesn't work for this chart. So now, to fill in my blank spots on the chart, I just have to follow my pattern rule. So if I have my 40 here, I need to add 18 to get my output. So 40 plus 18 is 58. And I can check my math, but that mental math I can do. So 40 plus 18, there's my 58. So then I can do it again with the 53. So I've got my 53, I'm adding 18, so 8 plus 3 is 11, 5, 6, 7. So this answer will be 71. Now, to get the ones on the input, I just treat it like a turnaround. So I know that if I add 18, I'll get the bigger number. If I subtract 18, I'll get the smaller number. So to get this blank, I have to take 42 and subtract 18. So I've got my 42. I'm going to subtract 18. So I can't take 8 away from 2. I'm going to have to borrow. So 12 take away 8 is 4. And then 3 take away 1 is 2. So this answer is 24. To get this one, I have to do the same thing. So I take my output and I subtract my 18. So my output is 38. I'm going to subtract 18. So my output is 38. I'm going to subtract 18. So 8 take away 8 is 0. 3 take away 1 is 2. So this answer is 20. And that's how we figure that out.